Do the countdown. Hello, everybody. You can speak first. It's
Hi.
your show.
Well, we popped
It's
up at
your
the same
show.
time, so it's okay. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your week. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you back if you're coming back to the channel. We're just going to have a nice casual conversation this evening. It may not be a long show. It's just going to depend on how things go.
Sounds good.
So, Stephen, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm just trying to survive the day. Being taken to, like I said, taking the son to the airport.
yeah,
So
yeah. Hey, recently, one of the things that I've been seeing going on that it's got me scratching my head is all of these reports coming out of Peru. Have you seen the information on that
I
yet?
I'm
Any of the videos?
there's a lot of skepticism about that, and then
Yeah,
there's
and
people falling for it too. So I don't have enough information. I am trying to get contact with somebody that lives within the area that I used
mhm,
to be on the Discord with. He's a super nice guy, but I'm having a hard time reaching. Guy, he was
yeah.
talking about moving from there to somewhere else. So I don't know if he's already moved because it's been a while since I talked to him. Hello, Nicole, and
Well,
to
and
meet
I
you if
think
you're
that's
still watching.
important. It's important to when you see these kinds of things coming out to, and you don't have to be a harsh skeptic, but to be skeptical and do research and keep an open mind
Yeah,
and then decide for yourself,
I
you
just
know.
the video evidence that
Myself,
I'm seeing is so sketchy, and I
yeah,
mean, there's some things that just, but there are other things that are making you think, well, there's something definitely going on there. There is
right.
something going on. What it is, until we get
Yeah,
a little more solid evidence, I'm not going to call anything yet. I'm not going to form an opinion because I haven't seen enough to form an opinion yet, other than the fact that there is something going on there. People are getting hurt. There's something going on.
mhm.
When we,
Yep, I
but
agree
I
with
haven't
that.
seen any new stuff other than what was released a little bit ago.
Well, and
I
that's
haven't
the
seen
thing.
anything new. I've only seen the
Now,
blurry video of the green blur blop flopping around.
right,
The
right.
quality, it's not the best. We know that they have better phones down there, but unfortunately, not all of them have quality phones down there. So that's a fact
Yeah,
too.
and you're dealing with an area that um just to reach the village where this is supposedly happening
Right,
is a 10-hour boat trip. That there's no highways into there because it's a denser jungled area. There's it's not like there's an airport somebody could just fly in and do the Channel 7 news coverage kind of thing.
right.
So hopefully they'll the right people will dig into it and find out what's happening because like
Yeah,
you said
you're gonna,
there are people
from
getting
that
hurt
area,
and
the information coming out is going to be kind of sketchy. I mean, I shouldn't say sketchy. For it's going to be slow. I don't. I'm
intermittent.
not sure
Yeah.
because I've heard about it, I've read about it, but to me, there's still not enough to make a solid opinion other than there's something happening. That's it. There
Right.
is something happening. Now, what it is, we don't know. What are we talking about, Nicole? In Peru, they're saying they're being attacked by aliens, is what
Yeah.
they're saying, in a little
Yeah.
village in Peru. The
Yeah.
video
And
footage is kind of iffy. I haven't, but that's from what I've seen. If there's more video evidence out there, I'd like to see it. I may have to go look later, but
yeah. And
right now
same thing here.
I'm not gonna get all
Starting
whoop up
to
about it.
exactly. And that's the thing. Yeah. Do your research if it's something that
Right.
concerns or interests. you as a viewer, but I I'm hearing from both sides of people going off the deep end. Um, oh, it's a psyop. Oh, they're making it up, or oh, this is a false flag invasion. And until we get more information, we have to use discernment and we have to educate ourselves. And so that was mainly my reason for bringing it up is for our viewers to take that step back and while keeping an open mind, use discernment. Yeah. So one of the things that I did before you and I got on in the green room was I pulled out one of my, um, I guess you could call it an oracle deck. They call it an affirmation deck. The, it's my gemstone affirmation deck, which, it's kind of appropriate for our little group of gemstones here. But with me being one who's been talking about different gemstones, I thought it
Right.
might be kind of neat to just intuitively pull a couple of cards before the stream and then pull the stones and then, I could show them and answer questions if people had questions real quick. So I just pulled a couple. Plus that way people could see what the cards are like and
Okay.
see, this is just, and sometimes what I will do, like for myself, um, if I'm thinking, okay, what would be a good gemstone for me to carry today to help me through the day or help me with the situation, I might go and intuitively pull a card. And so, the back looks just like the outside of the box, and the box is really nice case. It's got the solid lid on it with the magnet, which as often as I drop things, having a magnet on the case is a good thing. And then the other side of each card, and I don't know if that's focused or not, but you get the idea.
Right.
It's got the information about the stone, a nice quality picture of the stone, and then a little affirmation at the bottom. And so the ones that I pulled, and I'm just going to do two of the three, is carnelian and citrine. And so I'm going to put my glasses on and just read you the basic information for carnelian. And I pulled out my carnelian heart palm stone, which is a really nice way to work with a stone. I like them when they're palm size, even if, and the heart shape to me, shape is as important as the stone itself. Um, it not only in the way that it radiates the energy, but in the symbolism of it. And so with carnelian and using a heart shape, carnelian, and I'll read you from the card, activates the sacral chakra, which is, down below your belly button, um, your energy center of creativity, pleasure, sensuality, and passion. And when I say sensuality and passion, that doesn't necessarily mean sexual. That can be your passion for um, going out and exploring the world, or your artistic passion, your motivation, if you will. So that is the kind of support that carnelian can lend to you and to your sacral chakra. It can enhance your stamina, optimism, and empowerment. So, say one of the things that it also says on here, um, it reminds you that you're divinely alive and boosts your energy when you feel down. So if you're having a time where maybe you're feeling tired, you're feeling stressed, carnelian is a really good one to work with, to carry with you, to help support you in those times, to kind of give you that little extra boost of energy, to give you that not, it's almost like a caffeine boost.
Right.
but it supports that motivation part of you. So that's the carnelian card that I pulled, and then the other one that I pulled, and I find it interesting that these are both lower chakra cards that I wound up pulling. Um, so obviously, because when I pulled it, I was thinking of the community and the support that they might need.
Right.
So citrine was the other one, and it's the solar plexus, which is just above your belly button. Okay, and it is the stone that offers mental clarity and attracts prosperity. It's a powerful stone of manifestation and money magic for those that do that, and the perfect tool to work with for the abundance of all things. Okay, so there's the card, and then here's the piece of citrine. Oop, and there we go. That I pulled out of my
That's nice. I like that.
batch. Yeah, this is actually a piece of African citrine that I gifted myself with. Couldn't resist. And so with the citrine, again, think of the abundance being okay, it doesn't have to mean the kind that folds or the kind that jingles. Abundance can be abundance of joy or abundance of um, prosperity in your garden or good health. So, those are just a couple of different ways that you can work with stones and also work with oracle cards to help support you and what things you might be going through as a collective. So,
I
does
didn't.
anybody have any questions?
That's what I'm getting ready to do now. Yeah. My hand was
And
not
hi,
working.
anybody that's come in that I didn't see.
Well, you got Nicole Mineral and Ted here. And you got 8 people watching, just watching, enjoying. So,
That's nice. It's nice to have a
yes, please, if you got
cozy
comments or
little
questions, please put them in
space.
capitals. So, when I show Laura there, she can see them.
Yeah, because with my vision, I have to
Hmm.
take my glasses
Yeah,
off and
mine's
lean
not the best
forward.
either. I'm way due for glasses. I'm way for.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
stopped
saw you
wearing mine
mention
because they
that.
just started hurting my head.
Well,
Where's
and that tells you right there your prescription has changed. It's time to
yeah,
get them checked. I
I'll
have
just
to
be
go
busy.
every year because not only do I have um, astigmatism, but I started having uh, genetic macular degeneration when I was in my late 30s, early 40s. And
Right,
so when I'm reading any kind of what I would call normal size text, like out of a book or something like that, after about 15 minutes, my vision, if you think of that as being the line of text, it'll start to double. And
right.
next thing you know, I'm seeing it here and I'm seeing it here. And when you're reading line after line, it just, yeah, it's
No,
just not
no,
worth it.
Smoochie. As you know, it just sucks getting old.
It ain't that the truth.
It
And,
just sucks.
and bad genetics.
I'm trying to be as graceful as I can about it. You know, I already have
Yeah,
enough issues that I'm born with, so I might as well ride
I
it out the
am
best I can.
of the Dolly Parton point of view. Is I will grow old gracefully, but if I can keep it looking happy,
There you go.
I'm gonna do it.
I don't know about looking
Yeah.
happy, but
Yeah, my hair would be salt and pepper gray and it's dishwater brown.
I
It's
just wish
not
the white
pretty.
hair would come back, and that way I wouldn't look pepper anymore.
Yeah.
I'd kill to have that white
So
hair back. Even though I guess I'm just gonna have to go get myself scared shitless again. Ooh, silly again.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. Hey,
I'll get in
so
trouble later.
you know how a couple of weeks ago we had that wild shadow that moved across the
Hmm.
stream? Um, so, how are things going on in your house? Have you been having any more of that happen
No,
with you?
Like I said, it was
Yeah.
done for a reason. It was
Well, yeah,
done
you and I both
for
know that.
yeah, it was done for a reason. I know a lot of people that have seen it said it's smoke, but if you watch it close, it ain't smoke. It moves with a
Yes,
purpose. If
exactly.
you watch it, stops in front of my face. It actually covers my face.
And it moves
And after that, I
opposite
had
the
some
wind.
things
Yeah.
happen to confirm that I was right, that it wasn't my mom, that it was something else trying to show people this is what I see. And because,
Mhm.
I know there's some doubts out there, people have them. And then on
Well,
top of that, it was trying to let somebody else know that it's there. So they knew
exactly.
that there was confirmation that I'm being guided, as one might say.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And the
um,
same here. Because you and I, when it comes to that at least, will sometimes see it in the same way. When I do see it
sometimes,
with the
yeah.
physical, I see it like that.
Now
And
I
so
see
it's a
things
really
with
good
detail and stuff,
explanation.
but the stuff I
Yeah.
see, the stuff I see following other people are in that form.
Yes.
But when I
Yeah.
see stuff, and there are stuff like the black eyed kids and other things that I've seen throughout my life that are, very detailed, very real,
Mhm.
from cryptids to ghosts, and I've seen angelic and I have seen demons both ways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I, but I don't, I see everybody, I like to say everybody sees things differently. Everybody may have the
Absolutely.
same opinion, but they interpret it different, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. 100%. And I think that's part of why I like being able to have conversations with you and Gemma and then the gemstones and other people is because everyone will see it, feel it, hear it, smell it, all in slightly different ways. You know, yeah, you
Right.
and I both see, but it's just a little different. But what I
Yes.
thought's been interesting is, and it's again, folks, don't stress out. It's not a negative thing, but I've had shadow cats moving through my house again,
Oh,
which
I
I
see
haven't
Sam.
had for a while.
I see ghost animals. I mean, they're in form, but
Yeah.
I can know it's in when it's just a little thing running across. Or I see stuff like that. It's kind of rare, but I have seen stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I've got that other sixth sense, if you will, about my own cats and when they're in the room with me and what they're doing and that sort of thing. And been getting a lot of I'll get the movement and then I'll turn and you catch it out of the side eye,
Right.
the shadow. And like you say, it's very obvious it's an animal, but it's not one of my living animals. But considering how many cats that my husband and I have cared for as our own or as
Right.
fosters over the years, it doesn't surprise me one bit. But I just find it interesting. It's like the energy has been um, opened up a little bit lately,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right.
And it may have something to do with, both what's going on with our planet. It may have something to do with solar
A lot
activity,
going
the
on.
lions, the Lionsgate portal, that we're
Right.
just gone through. I mean, officially the Lionsgate portal. When you hear people talk about that, they talk about the 8-8 portal. But it actually goes from the end of July into um, mid-August. So it goes through tomorrow.
Right.
And it has to deal with the celestial alignment. Um, and so,
See, that's
with that
interesting
ramping
subjects.
up, I'm not surprised. So I was just curious to see, what's been going on your end and things that you might have been noticing that maybe were different
I'm
from your normal.
the only thing I'm noticing right now is just that I'm seeing more things attached to more people, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
it more often. There would be days that I don't see a thing, but that's not been the case
Right.
for the last
Now, would you
probably
say
6 months.
that
It's almost
is
been every day. It has
because
been
you're
every day.
seeing them more or because they are there more?
There's
Which
more
do you
of
think
them.
it is?
I
There's
think
more
there's
of
more
them.
of
It's
them.
increased.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it has increased. I
Yeah.
think people don't realize what they invite into their life. Let's put it that way. And
Absolutely.
like when I talked about that Thursday that I walked in that carryout or
Hmm.
Dairy Farms, four of those people had very bad things with them. Well, no, three of those, no, four of those people, because there was five of them, six counting me. Is that right? Everything happens so quickly. Anyways,
Yeah.
the things that were attached to these people, they were more or less invited in. That's why when I wrote my
Right.
Facebook page, that some have allowed it and some by choice and some by not. Because there the people that haven't done anything. Why is this bugging them? But these people, it was obvious that they pretty much invited it into their life, except
Right.
maybe for which I'm pretty sure was an addiction demon on that lady.
Hmm.
Now that might
Hmm.
be a different system, and I can't say well in a way you do because you're the one that takes those steps. But I don't know if she was an addict or not. She didn't look like one. She didn't
Right.
act like
And it,
one. She was just mean and grouchy, but that was what it came off as. Now I could be totally
hmm
wrong what it was because some things it's hard, because some things look like other things. You know what I'm saying? When I see things, so I have to interpret what I see. Now somebody might see it and interpret different.
hmm
But that's what
Yeah.
I got the feeling of that this lady, because there's all kinds of addiction. It could be anything.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
was definitely something like that. But it was all, but everybody else, the three guys, it was definitely these things were invited. They allowed these things into their life. Yeah, that one was just the one shadow was just whispering in that guy's ear, and the guy was just content. It was like this guy you could see the interaction between the things and the guys. I don't know if a normal person or somebody else might have noticed, but I could see there was an interaction between them. So it was like the guys knew they were there. Kind
Hmm.
of got that
Hmm.
impression. But when I turned around and were nice to me, it was knew they were just being nice for that moment. That's the impression I got. But
Right.
but they knew the guy behind the counter, so who's this? That probably made the situation a lot easier. But I don't know. It was just a weird situation, and they were all just not good. If it wasn't for the lady that walked in when she did, I probably would have lost a lot of hope right there.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
because the more and more I see this stuff, the and I'm not saying all of it's bad. I'm just saying right now, majority seems to be bad.
Yeah.
And I'd say out of what I like, we were out today. Thank God we didn't really go in anywhere where there was anybody at. So I saw one thing. It was at a distance. I didn't get close enough to get any kind of scan off of it, feeling off of it. Hello, unidentified. How you doing, Anthony? I'm just saying hi. A couple
Hi,
other people
Anthony.
popped in too. AUFOC and Meaner and all of them. Hey guys. But yeah, the things that there are times a lot lately that I'm around people, and it's obvious they've been in the no good, and the thing that's with them has been invited. I don't know if they invite
Hmm.
these things thinking they're going to protect them. There was a couple of ladies I saw about 2 weeks ago in Kroger's, and they were not good people. It was obvious the way they were talking about everybody in the store, but the things behind them, I think they invited to protect them. If you knew where I'm getting at, these were not
Hmm.
just your average lady. They were into darker things. They dressed the
Yeah.
part, they looked the part, they were coming off as the part. And it's just sad because they don't know what kind of things it's going to happen. Right now it's all good and dandy. Maybe they're protecting them, but it's not going to end up good. It never does. Never
Yeah.
does. So, but yeah, that's, and that's what I'm seeing. And I know people that see like me that I've had communication with over the last couple of months. We're kind of comforting each other. Hello, Blue Crossroads. And we've been talking, and they're all seeing the same thing.
Hmm.
And I know there's more like me out there, but the people I know that are like me that we've kind of established a little network. We talk, every so couple months. but like we talked last week, and it was like we were all agreed. It's the veil has definitely gotten a lot thinner,
Yeah.
and it's definitely lifting, and a lot more's coming through now. I think people are going to, the UFO thing's ramping up. Everything's ramping up. You're going to start hearing more about cryptids. You're going to start hearing more about actual sightings, and they have picked up. If you watch
Yes,
YouTube,
it
there
has.
are plenty of videos out there showing that people are not alone in their home as they think they are. So
Exactly. Exactly. And so, with one, it's important to, keep yourself as grounded
right,
as possible. So whether that is, through working with stones, through doing meditation, literally going out and putting your bare feet on the earth, on the grass, to help your energy remain clear. It's very important. And then being able to come on here and network with people
right,
like yourself, like myself, like Gemma.
right.
So you're getting validation that, okay, this isn't just me. I'm not just crazy. You
Oh, I know I'm
are,
crazy.
well, in that way, you know what I mean. But that we can support each other in that way.
Right.
So, all
I was
right.
just trying to interrupt. Yeah, please, people, if you can help support the channel, we appreciate it. But anyways, um, yeah, it's like she thinks it's cracked wide open. It's
Yeah,
getting there. But it is
yeah,
lifting,
it is.
and it's slowly coming out. I wouldn't say that it's full blown open yet, but from what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, from what I'm hearing from others who are around me, we all feel that it has thinned. You can, people are starting to see a lot more now, and it is lifting.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't have to be lifted a whole lot for the smaller, low vibrational, what you want to call them, to creep underneath that thing. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, it's going to get a little crazier because as long as the world stays in the state it's in, you know, I don't want to get biblical, so I'll leave it at that. As long as things keep
Yeah.
going at the rate they're going, that veil is going to get higher and higher.
Well, and again, I think that also goes back to what, yourself, Gemma, myself, my teachers have all been noticing is that more people's natural psychic abilities are activating,
Right.
and it's a counterbalance
People are becoming
to
more aware.
they're
They're
be-
becoming
well, they're
more
becoming
aware.
more aware, but they're also um, they're able to understand and interpret things that they wouldn't normally be able to, if
I,
that makes sense.
I agree with that.
You
Yes, it
know,
makes sense. And
well,
I kind of
for
contribute
me, and for
to
instance,
all
my
those years.
clairaudience.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I also contribute that to, look at television now and streaming. I
Mhm.
mean, there's every kind of paranormal, UFO, whatever you want to call it,
Oh
out
yeah.
there. So we already are being indented with that stuff, and it's been really ramping up for what the last 10 years or so. That
Yeah,
paranormal
something like that.
shows and
Yeah.
everything's just going crazy. Hey, Mark. Hey, did anybody else sneak in? Um, that it's already flooded the market, so everybody's already starting to open up to it because of all that. People who would just make a joke of it and still make a joke of it. Like I said, everybody experiences something in life that they can't explain.
Mhm.
It's either they look at it a little more closely or just move about their business. That's their choice. And a lot of people just move about their business. Okay, whatever, move on. And I'm good with
Right.
that. Like deja vu and all that. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of that stuff. And people are going to start talking a lot more about it. You're seeing it now. People are more and more channels are popping up about this and UFOs and the
Well,
cryptids. You
that's part
know,
of why I started speaking up about it myself. For me, it started during lockdown, 2020. That my deja vu, I hadn't hardly had any deja vu for years.
I
And
have
then
it all the
all of a sudden it was boom and boom and boom every time I was turning around, and it was like somebody was saying, "Pay attention, pay attention." And so that's exactly what I started doing, is paying attention and realizing that there were other people that were going through it that were unsure. They were nervous. They were scared. They were like, why is this going on? And that maybe I could lend some support,
Right.
and just by
Put
talking.
right. Like, Blue, you pretty much nailed some of that on the head. When CERN started operating, period, things started getting strange. But now that they're over the last, what, 5 years, 10 years, they've really been cranking it up.
Yes.
And things have gotten weirder. And if you look around long enough on the internet, even anywhere, you'll find that, when they take the pictures of the neutron, whatever, you have to
Yes.
forgive me. It is
Neutron.
getting harder for me to talk. But
It's okay, babe.
um, there are pictures out there of these things where it looks like they literally opened up a portal, and you can see something in that portal. A lot of people are calling them fake, but I found out that these pictures actually did come from CERN, and they are legit. So yeah, CERN cranking it up like they have been has also in well, it's not in CERN, but you got to remember there's more than one collider on this planet.
Right.
And
Right.
there's, I think, what, one or two right here in America.
Yeah.
I
There's
know
two in
there's one up
America.
north in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one up here somewhere.
And
There
you can
are
keep
quite
in
a few
mind,
of them, smaller ones. So
yeah, that there are small colliders all over the
yeah,
world.
you get those
We have
all
one right
operating
here
at
in
the
town.
same time.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're stirring up.
Yeah.
But see, I understand that stuff not as much as I like. Uh,
Hmm.
everything in science I've tried to teach myself because I was sucky. There's one pretty close to you. Yes, I know there was. I ended up in Michigan or somewhere like that. I know there's one close because I've heard conversations about it a number of times around here. I don't know if there's one in Ohio. If there is, I know there's one in one of the state, either Michigan or Minnesota or somewhere up in there. I could be wrong, but I know there is one really close. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I've been watching CERN for a while. And if you watch some of the crazy crap that goes on over that city in
Hmm.
Switzerland, right? It's crazy. Some of the weird sky events that they have and stuff. So you kind of have to wonder. But I go that to me goes back to alchemy because when I think
Oh,
they're messing
absolutely.
around with when they're messing around with CERN, they're actually messing around with alchemy. Just like NASA is messing
Yeah.
around with alchemy. People don't realize
Yeah.
it, but it's kind of true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bless you.
Sneeze. Sound like my dad earlier. Well, actually, both of us.
My my beloved sweetheart. We used to have a black and white rescue cat that when Brian would sneeze, he would literally blow the cat off of the couch because Malcolm would levitate up and backwards off the
Ah!
couch
That's funny.
every time.
I used to have a dog. Every time he
Yeah,
sneezed, he'd make this face like, "Are you okay?"
yeah.
He would stand in front of you, looking at you. "Are you alive? Are you okay?"
Did you just
Excuse me
explode?
one second.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think
I don't
if
know if
there's
NASA's
anything
a
else I
hoax,
wanted to
Moochie,
cover.
but they are up to some shady stuff, as far as I'm
Well, and that's
concerned.
it. There's
I mean,
there
you got to
is a lot of legitimate science that goes on through NASA,
right.
but there's also a lot of really shady dealings that I've become more and more aware of that,
Yeah, and there's a lot of it.
are concerning. Um, I can't knock them, but I also can't say that when you've got astronauts speaking out about, okay, this is what happened, and then NASA turns around the heads and denies it, something shady's going on,
Oh yeah,
you
there
know.
is.
Um,
And the thing is, we can't go to space, so we can't see for ourselves. So we're going by what they tell us.
Yeah.
Now, it's like these photos they give of the telescopes of the galaxies and stuff. They posted a picture not too long ago, and somebody actually posted a picture from a 1978 poster that was the exact same thing. So it makes you stop and wonder.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
got to wonder. I mean, they even showed the date on the poster, 1978. I was like, But, until we can go ourselves, we're just kind of left with their information and what we read in our own science books and all that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and see, I hear that too. Some people say, I've heard all kinds of things about space. I heard that space is actually just water, which is an interesting concept. Why would you train astronauts in the ocean and in pools of water if they're going to go into pools of deep water? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their explanation. I I think we've been to space, and I
To
think
simulate the gravity, but
yeah, I know that, but they got people that say that,
Oh
they're
yeah.
kind of like part of that flat earther thing, and
Yeah.
I have no problem with flat earthers too, because who's to say that we're not flat? Just because we have pictures doesn't mean that are those pictures real. If you go back and look at all the pictures of Earth, since they could photograph, take pictures of Earth from space, none of those pictures are really very close. Now,
Mm.
granted, the definition of the cameras have gotten better, but if you look at the Earth itself, there is some slight changes from picture to picture. You kind of go, I wonder. But see, that's how I see
Yeah,
things.
I'm of
Always
the
open.
opinion if it was flat, cats would have pushed stuff off of it right now.
Probably. And I'm not saying I believe in flat Earth, but there's things that make you question it too. But
Hmm.
I believe the Earth is round. I believe in a different concept that I'm not going to get into because it's kind of crazy, but it was my own little theory that I kind of stuck with. So,
Yeah.
because you always
I-
hear the saying, as above, as below,
right.
you know? So you kind of have to wonder, okay, we're round, but are we talking about what's above Earth and in Earth? Or is Earth
Yeah.
round and we're like sitting on a table? And is that table we're sitting on,
Are we
is it
really
underneath
riding
it?
on the back of a turtle?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll never, we know we're going to get all our answers soon enough. I have a feeling. I really do. And truth
Have you
is coming
seen
out.
Quantum Mania, the movie Quantum Mania? Have you seen it yet?
No, I have not.
It's the latest Ant-Man
Oh no, I
Marvel.
didn't watch that one.
Yeah,
I'm not a
the
puzzle guy.
latest one it definitely has some interesting
Take.
ideas as
Yeah,
far as the
well,
quantum realm. And who's to say that we are not the tiny speck that's on the back of something
right.
much, much larger?
The- right. Well, you all
Yeah.
seen Men in Black in the first one where at the end of the movie the
I
thing's playing marbles and we're in the marble,
Yep, yep.
so you never know. But it's like Blue Crossroads said something about, the gravity only works when the world is round and spinning. But there's people out there that are trying to disprove gravity.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are people actively trying to disprove gravity. And I find that kind of weird. It's like, well, why would you think that? We all know that. I mean, even I'm smart enough. The faster we move, the more you stick to something. Is it
Mhm.
because you think the world is what you see as this, but really it's doing this? I mean, I don't know. But now we're getting
Yeah.
into concepts that are kind of,
We're
but it's
going
got
down a rabbit hole.
a very deep rabbit hole because there's a
Oh boy.
lot of rabbit holes on this planet,
Oh, ain't that the truth?
and
Just
in
one
the
big golf course.
more than a golf. Gopher holes are bad. Nah, rabbit holes are even worse because they're everywhere. They are literally
And they,
everywhere.
and they
Even in the
multiply.
simplest topics, you'll find
Oh
somebody,
yeah. Yep, yep.
the Planet of the
Does
Apes.
anybody have questions or anything in chat or comments?
They're having fun with this stuff.
Good.
It's funny.
Good, good.
Planet Apes. I like that concept.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
one, love that one.
if you look at the original series and even the new ones, I mean, think
Hmm.
about it. Anything's possible. You know, this is where
Hmm.
the multiverse comes in. You know, in another universe, apes may have been the dominant species who became us. You go to another
Right.
universe, it could have been raptors. You know, a lot of people said if raptors were alive today, they'd be one of the smartest species in the world.
Hmm.
So, you know, you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
who's
did
to
ask a
say
question.
that those
Oh,
parallels
Nicole,
don't exist at the same
hold
time?
on. Can you repeat the question, hon? I'd love to put it up. I'm sorry, we got to. I'm trying to find it, Nicole. If you would repeat it, I'd appreciate it so I can pop it up there. My chat, my YouTube is acting weird lately. I'm trying to read things. I don't do very good reading out loud. I'm supposed to be
Yeah, I
doing
know.
so. I admit I do it, so I know I do it. Um, yeah, Nicole, please repeat the question if you would, hon. I'll
Yeah.
see if I can. Yeah, because I got one chat here that has a bunch of crazy stuff on it, and I don't know why it's doing that. I can't even read. Oh, there we go. It was like something was stuck on it. It was weird. Governments never tell you anything. No, they really do. Well, I think they drop us hints, and I think
They
they
tell
tell
us
us
the
this
bare
is
minimum.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
don't. They don't. They're not going to disclose the important stuff. Oh no. I'm trying to find it. Nicole, help me out, girl. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Nicole. Let me do this. There we go. Is it true that you should work with the stone you're drawn to? Oh, there's a good one
Oh,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, definitely. And so even before I quote got into the idea of studying crystals and stones and their specific purpose, to work with them for crystal healing and that sort of thing, I would intuitively, when I would go to a crystal store, literally pass the palm of my hand over the stone trays and feel for the ones that called to me. And when I say that, what will happen for me is when I pass my hand over that stone, I will feel it, a warmth or a tingling. When it's a stone or an object that I should avoid, I literally will feel pain in the palm of my hand.
Ooh,
Sometimes
interesting.
that pain, sometimes that pain will radiate out to my fingertips. Sometimes it'll go all the way up my arm. And I'm like, nope, not today. No. So definitely. And if you're being called to a particular stone, um, look at, okay, what kind of stone is it? What's its color? What does, what chakra does that color relate to? Or does that particular stone work with? Um, because it can also give you personal insights of why you're being drawn to that stone. It may be that you're needing to, feel more passion for what you're doing in your job or with your family, or you may, you know, to be feeling more grounded, or maybe you're wanting to connect more with past loved ones and the angelic realm. And so you might be called more to something like, celestite. So, yeah.
Now, she says this afterwards. I've always been drawn to black ones and labradorite. And then she says
Fabric.
this.
Okay.
Like, forgive me, like I said, and me and my speech, and a grounding protection. So she's looking. Are you looking for like a grounding and protection kind of stone or jewel, or what
No,
do you?
actually,
Crystal?
specifically, the ones most black stones, and let me reach around behind the camera here. I'll grab you. So, like shungite, for instance. Obsidian, is another one that you'll see. Black tourmaline. The solid black stones
See, that's the stone
are
that
more
I got with
grounding
one of her
and
girls.
protective.
She really likes
So,
that one.
so for yourself, it could be that maybe you always have feel disconnected. Your mind is always racing, and so you're needing more grounding. Or it may be you're traveling more. Maybe you're traveling more for work or for school, and so you may be being drawn to this for you know during your travel with labradorite. Again, grounding protection, but it also um, works with you in the dream realm, and it also helps to calm and give clarity with psychic connection. So, like for instance, I keep a labradorite spire next to my bedside, to allow me to relax more and receive more information as far as my abilities from my guides and so on when I'm resting, and to allow me to have a more restful sleep. So, yeah, look at those parts of your life that those things apply to, if you're being drawn to that particular stone. And it doesn't have to be, now, albeit I go down that rabbit hole of I like big rocks. I like shiny. I like large.
The bigger the
So,
better. The
but
more
it
the
doesn't. But it doesn't have to be. This little flat piece of shungite. It's actually called, uh, you know, cut to be a bra stone or to be able to fit like in your back pocket. So you've got that little piece to carry with you, nice and easy. So it doesn't have to be huge to still work with the energy of that particular stone or object. So I hope that answers your question.
Hello, Eric. How you doing? Paranormal
Eric,
Highway. How you doing, sir?
cool.
We're just rapping. I'm letting
Yep,
Pixie do her thing. Actually, I've
yep,
been
just
ranking just as
tapping
much as her.
away. Well, it's nice to have that um,
Okay.
interactive conversation.
Now she just said I have tourmaline, oxy, ammonite,
Onyx.
black diamond. See,
Okay.
I don't know any
Yeah,
of that stuff.
and all of those, so tourmaline, onyx, hematite, black diamond, they all have the same protective and grounding qualities to varying degrees. So depending, onyx, for instance, is going to have slightly different properties in the onyx, and I'll have to pull out my book, which is why I have the book to tell you, but it may be the onyx is more for protection and grounding around uh, family, or that hematite is more um, pro- protective around abundance.
Right.
Okay, if that makes sense. So, that's something that I could bring those specific items to you like next week, and we could talk about how one particular theme, if you will, of stone, like protecting
Right.
stones, but how each one's energies vary just a little bit in what they work with. Because sometimes you may want protection for dream time, like with labradorite, or you may want protection for travel, um, that sort of thing.
Ah, I
Hello.
made us bigger. Ah, we're big
Oh
now.
no.
Oh, look what I did to her. Wait, let's get this. Ah, no,
Well,
I
you
didn't
know,
mean to do that. Where's that stupid? Oh, there we go. There we go. I kept hitting the
uh,
wrong. Oh,
yeah.
poor Gemma deals with me because what I learned was I had it synced up, and I didn't realize
Uh-huh.
that. That's why we kept switching during the stream.
Uh-huh.
And I fixed that, but then I realized if I have my mouse and I go to start tapping and I don't realize my mouse is over like one of the things, it will switch.
It,
I hit the button, it'll automatically switch them. So now before I
oh
type, I gotta make sure I have my cursive over the YouTube box, not the
no. Watch that cursor, man.
I do. You'll beat me up one of these days. Shank me.
Oh dear, oh
Kidding.
dear.
I'm kidding. I know. Oh, here we go.
Well, we love our dragon.
Um, so I guess I've always been insecure. This has been my whole life, and the labradorite.
Yeah, yeah. So, with Labradorite, actually, let me see if I can pull the card from the deck for that one.
And yes, Eric, I
Because
know it's like I walked out and somebody had a Cleveland shirt on. I'm like, up, it is about preseason.
there we go.
There's your flood.
Okay, so the other aspect of Labradorite is a stone of new beginnings, of hope and imagination. Um, it's also a good one to use for amplifying your intentions during the new moon and helping with the activation of your third eye as well as um, ease of opening your third eye. Okay. So, and it says, and to help you with your opening your senses to help you clearly see the world around you. So it may be that you're drawn to it because you are needing more clarity. You are needing or feeling like you need to understand the world around you better. So I hope that makes sense.
She just said interesting. Yeah, she knows more about that than I do. I've never really delved into. I've always just found them fascinating and pretty to look at. And
Yeah,
it's like I
on
don't have
both
it on
sides.
now because I was working earlier and I don't wear it when I'm working. But the one Gemma sent me, the
Hmm.
dragon, whatever it is, ever since she said I've worn it, and it does. I noticed like the Thursday that I saw all this crap go down in United Dairy Farmer with the things I
Right.
saw. I didn't have this on, and it made me feel very insecure. Maybe that's why, because I've made this kind of like a protection for me.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I ever since I do wear it a lot, but when I'm working and stuff, I don't wear it because I'm afraid I'll get it caught in something. But yeah, I know days when I'm out in the public and I don't have it on, I'll have it in my pocket because I'm
Hmm.
um
Well,
because
and it
I
goes
try to
back.
keep it with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then
keeping it
I
within
would
your
carry my
energy
elephant
field.
because this thing has been like I hold this a lot. The I don't know if you can see it. It's the elephant she
Oh,
sent,
nice.
and I hold this a lot. I don't think people realize sometimes
Is
you
he
see me doing
obsidian?
this. No, it's green.
Oh, looks like green adventuring, possibly.
She could tell
Yeah,
you.
I'd
I
have to
don't know the
see it in
names.
person.
If I knew the name, I probably couldn't
Nice,
say it.
nice.
But I
I
do
actually
hold this a
have a
lot.
little bitty green adventuring Ganesha elephant that I will put in my pocket when I just feel like, maybe I need someone looking out after removing obstacles. So
There you
whether that
go.
obstacle might be stress or it might be um,
Right.
just trying to figure things out.
Anna wants to know what does being drawn to Moldavite mean, Pixie?
So Moldavite, um, is a tektite, as you may already know, that was created by meteoric impact. And so the particulates were fused into glass from this meteorite. So you're dealing with cosmic energies there. A lot of people consider moldavite to be the connective stone to the alien realm, to the other worlds, to the worlds beyond our solar system, our universe, and a connection to that universe because it's made of stardust, star stuff. It, from that impact. And so being drawn to it, it is a very high frequency, high energy um, stone. My teacher, Sarah, she actually avoids moldavite like the plague because it is so high frequency that its energy will make her throw up.
Wow. I know that
She holds
somebody
it.
was it.
She gets, as soon as she even gets near a piece within her energetic field, so that 2 foot distance for her, she'll start feeling nauseous. And I
Wow.
mean really nauseous. And if she holds it for very long, yeah,
Really?
she tosses her cookies.
And-
Whereas
and-
for other people, like myself, I it's like I'm sitting in the very dead center of a spider's web, and I can just feel the energies of everything around me being strummed. And so it enhances that outward energy connection. So very interesting. I wonder if that has some play into your natural intuitive abilities on Edna. That, maybe that's a direction we need to work with for you.
Now she said she bought Moldavite and Herkimer pendant, and she said
Herkimer.
it
Uh-huh.
it must be expensive because she says it was the most she ever spent on herself before.
Yeah. So, well, you have to think about, and both of those items are very specific to where they come from. Herkimer comes from Herkimer, New York. Now you can get the style of, and it's a quartz crystal, but it's a double terminated, very specific type from a very specific place on Earth. Okay. Whereas
Right.
with moldavite, it's from one area of one very specific meteoric impact. And so it is a finite resource. And because it was featured, and I don't know if it was on TV or magazine, um, about 10 years ago, the market exploded with people wanting to buy it. And so its price went up considerably, and now it's become harder and harder to get because there's less and less of it to be found from this one specific area. A really small piece of raw moldavite right now will run you anywhere from $60 to $95, give or take. Um, I have a faceted gem cut piece of moldavite that's about the size of my thumbnail that it's set in a sterling silver bezel, and because it's cut and faceted and has a nice gem set, it's a $250, $300 pendant minimum, and it's that big.
That's steep. I know there's a couple things that
Yeah,
Gemma wanted.
and and
It's
that's
like,
actually almost
oh,
doubled since I bought it 4 years ago.
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Holy crap. I knew
yeah.
that
I
stuff was
actually,
expensive.
yeah, I actually had the opportunity. Gosh, has it been 2 years now? to buy some moldavite at pre boom prices because this was some stuff that guy realized he still had, and he was also friends with my husband, so we worked out a deal. I also bought some other crystals and such from him, and so I was able to buy it basically at half what the current going price is to put it
Yes. Oh,
back because one, it's expensive. Two, because it's a finite resource, it's an investment. And I plan on having them wire wrapped or wire wrapping them myself
there you go.
to give as gifts, which is actually something really neat that I've been working on. It's hard to tell, and I can't lean forward far enough, but this is actually a lepidolite spear, and lepidolite is it's a healer stone for healing the healer, for protecting one's energy, for self healing. Um, and I'd wanted to make it into a pendant, and so I have been working with some sterling silver wire. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to get this up where y'all can see. And so just doing some wire wrapping jewelry. I've got some other pieces that I want to do. And I thought, they might make really nice gifts and or giveaways, that sort of thing.
She has a
So,
golden. Aunt Edna says she has a golden healer stone.
okay, so yeah, golden healer is a type of quartz, and with it, it's a very iron-rich quartz. So, like the palm stone that I sent New England Dirt Ready, that's golden healer quartz. Do I have a piece of it right here? I might have a small piece of it right handy. I could show you. It's actually here. So this particular piece, this is actually what's called a scepter point, and so if you look really close at this, you can see that it has both the top angles and the bottom angles of this, but growing out of the root crystal here. But the bottom section of this, I'll hold it real still, is golden healer. And so you can see the reddish area, the russet area, um, has is iron rich, and it's considered a more healing form of quartz crystal because it works with the iron within the human body as part of our
Now
energetic
she
field.
also wants. Well, she wants to know if this is correct. Now she charges hers with the sun and the moon. Now I charge mine with the full moon. I put them in the window when the moon's full. But she wants to know, is that correct? The sun and the moon will charge us, right?
So, so one of the things that you have to watch out for, and this is from straight up just geology, is some stones, like amethyst, for instance, can actually start to fade when sat in direct sunlight for long periods of time. Selenite is another one. So let me grab my little selenite stick here. So selenite, not only will it, because if it's sat in direct sunlight, it will heat up from the sun's reflection, and it'll actually start to melt. It'll also start to melt from the humidity that might build up, like on the inside of a windowsill or that sort of thing. So that's something to watch out for. Um, you can easily Google, each specific stone and
Find
just
out
put,
which fetch for what.
yeah, care of amethyst or care of selenite, and it'll tell you your basics of how to do that. As far as charging them, my personal point of view is I just work with what I'm drawn to at that time. So it may be the new moon, it may be the full moon, or it may be the sun. Um, it may be that I'm wanting to draw in um, abundance manifestation of, you know, good prosperity for this particular adventure I'm going on. And so I may charge at the full moon, you know, my abundance crystals, or my quartz crystals. Um, or it may be that I'm wanting to send out the energy of healing, for instance. So I may charge my healing crystals um, at the new moon. So, what is rutilated quartz? Rutilated
Yeah, I
quartz
wasn't even
has,
attempt to say that.
yeah, and I don't blame you, hon. That one's a tongue twister. So, rutilated quartz, and let me see if I've got a piece of it here. Rutilated quartz actually has rutile, which are these little teeny tiny spires, and there may be a picture in here. Let's see if we've got one. Um, no red, no. Let's look under. Okay, it does
Oh,
not have one in here,
Tim
but it
Mothman.
rutile. Most rutile is again, it's either it's iron or it may be pyrite. Um, it may just be carbon, but you'll see these little tiny, almost like hairs, and sometimes they will crisscross inside the crystal. Sometimes they'll all be in one direction. But that is what rutilated quartz is.
Here,
Yeah.
I have one question for you. I love this, but it's so small. I'd love to have a bigger piece of this. This is one that Gemma sent me. But it's small, and I love the look of it. Let's see if I can get it good.
That is tiger's eye. I love tiger's eye. It's pretty.
This stuff is really nice. There's a red one too that she sent that
Yeah,
I
you can
really,
get.
really like too. That everybody tries to take from me. It's a little tiny one.
Let's see.
It almost reminds me of a bloodstone.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one here, this little thing right here, and it's so small, but it's so pretty. And everybody tries to take this one.
There we go. There's tiger's eye. So
Yeah, I
tiger's
love
eye is
that tiger's eyes too. I didn't,
one.
she has a list, and I have a list on her on what they're supposed to be, but I couldn't match them.
Yeah. So
But this thing,
tiger's eye is a solar plexus stone. It's a stone of wisdom, strategy, empowerment, courage, protection, and discernment, and the ability to see ahead.
maybe I should carry
It
that in my pocket.
enhances your intuition, helps you to channel visions of past lives, and is associated with the Greek goddess of wisdom, Athena.
Interesting, because
What,
that's interesting.
what's really
Certain dreams
cool
of mine,
also about tiger's eye,
when she sent that to me, certain dreams ramped up.
yeah,
I wonder if that's what,
um, and that may have something to do with it. And tiger's eye will also come in red. So
like
what
this.
you've got is brown tiger's eye.
No, no,
So
I
it's
have
the
the
most
brown one, and then this
common.
one is a
Red
different one,
tiger's
right?
eye is almost cherry colored,
Okay. This reminds me
like a
of a
dark cherry.
bloodstone.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what it is,
so,
but it's cool too.
and then you can actually get blue tiger's eye, which is like the rarest. And some that they call it black tiger's eye, but it's blue tiger's eye. But it's so dark it almost looks black. But when you shine the light on it, it has a little bit of a deep, almost cobalt blue look to it. So
Interesting. Here you go.
yeah,
Blue Crossroads. Paranormal Pixie. Laura, what with what you just said, could that be why I see the tiger?
It's very possible. It's very possible. That's something that we can definitely look into.
Hello, angels, our life. A couple of people are popping in. I don't know how much longer you want to
Nice,
go. We are.
nice. Actually, yeah, we're a little out over an
Oh, you're
hour.
fine. It's good because you got a
But
good crowd, so I'm not going to rush you. If you want to hang on a
yeah,
little bit longer, that's fine.
no, actually, I was thinking, unless people have any other questions, I'm certainly willing to stay longer, but about going ahead and wrapping it up. Mostly because I know you've been up since what I call, oh God, 30 in the
Well, I
morning,
don't sleep anyways,
and
but yeah, I mean,
and
I slept
my
a good
vision's getting pretty
when I came
bad.
home, which was nice.
Right now you have, um, uh, remember when we used to have the old style TVs and you would get that rolling double in the
Yeah,
background?
the antenna flip, I
Yeah,
call
yeah, that's what my eyes are starting to do,
it.
from looking at the
Getting the
screen.
antenna
So,
flip, you gotta adjust your antenna there,
yeah,
woman, and get that
yeah.
station
So
a
it's
little bit.
probably time for me to go put some eye drops in and close my eyes
That's
for a little
fine.
bit. So,
And those
but
who came in late, let me say something real quick. Those who came in late tonight, she will be back next Thursday at 8 o'clock.
yeah,
I will be here Friday and Saturday at midnight. And then Gemma has a video premiere at 11. And I believe we are streaming at noon this Monday. So, and then, of course, Oracles on Wednesday night. So please don't forget, show up, have fun. Pick on us if you want. We don't care. Go ahead now.
yep. Yeah, no worries. I hope we all can join us for all of those wonderful things. Don't forget, Gemma Jade has her merch. We've had the banner running there on the bottom.
Everything.
And go to Jive Creations, and if you order Gemma Jade merch, take a picture, send it to her. Um,
Yeah, might
you know,
get lucky and
she's,
get something
you
I
might
can.
get lucky. She's sending out some goodies to some
Yeah,
folks
for the
that
first
are
15
doing
people.
that.
So,
So,
and remember her personal readings, just email her at, I'll do this, GemmaJadeParnormal.com. And I'll put it in chat for those who didn't know.
yep. And also, if you want to contact me, my information should be in the description,
Yes,
but
I will
it
put
is
it in there too.
lady.dreamweaver@att.net. And, send me an email and, give me some information about, you know, what you'd like to know, whether you have questions, if, you're looking into a particular issue or just want to connect.
Here we go. I'm going to put the whole works in like I usually do. If I can get it to copy. It's being to me. I'm getting slap happy. I guess I'm getting more tired than I thought. I might actually
Yeah, you
tonight. I doubt it, but it plays me like that. I act like I'm going to go to sleep and I'll lay down. Next thing I know, I'm going 1,000 miles a minute, and I hear dad or somebody going, "Steve, slow down."
yeah, that for me, it's, I lay down and my spirit guide says, release the puppies. It's
I wish it was that
next
easy.
thing you know, I've got all these thoughts running around and I'm back out of bed.
Yeah, it's not as much the thinking process with me. It's just my body doesn't stop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, and then you get there, and I sit there, and it's like this morning when I came back from the airport with Giles. I walked in the door, it was a little after 4. It's because it was easy. I just kind of hung out with him at the airport, and then I came. I mean, it wasn't even there that long. And that late at night, there wasn't hardly anybody in there, anyways. I came home and I sat and watched the sun come up. I actually drank a cup of coffee. Then I laid down, and I think I woke up. I don't know. I slept a good 4 hours, which was nice. And I know I dreamed because I wrote 2 pages in my dream book because I remember my dreams. I don't want to go into that dream because it was crazy. See, I have these dreams where I fight in wars, and it's just really weird. Or I have these
I'm
dreams
always
seeing
rescuing.
the end of things, and I have these really intense dreams. And when I do have good dreams, they're very fast. And it's usually on the nights that I don't sleep, when I only sleep like 15 minutes. And it's like, damn, why did it have to end? So Thank you, everybody, for joining up tonight. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank
you
you
so much.
all. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And I hope you come back next time. Don't forget, come see Mr. Ghost Dragon, Stephen,
I'll be here.
on late
Come get
night
bored with
tomorrow
me.
night. Come hang out, and
Come get
we'll
bored
see
with me.
you all very soon. Love you very much. Be kind. It doesn't cost you anything.
No, it doesn't. Have a good one, folks. See you on the flip side as we wave goodbye.